a train for these energy control units. Until you are full. Until you are empty and have inactivity. What's your max? Good. Go. Alright. Go here until there's enough for you to go pick up. How, after all this time, you do not have a full load yet? What does it take, dog? So you each are getting a half a belt. And you're consuming almost half a belt of electronic components. I could squeeze one more in you, but... yeah, that would push you over, and then the last ones would be starving all the time. And then the AI core needs to come in as well. Major Mayhem! Thank you. It's very kind of you, I appreciate that. Quite happy to have you here. If I were AI core, where would I be being made? If I were making AI core. Which I might not be. There they are. Meow. Kitty just walked up. How funny is that? Alright, can I get this train to bring me some AI core? I need to figure out a programming option for these trains that lets them leave when they're inactive or empty, but if they have no fuel, but they have to have fuel. And I'm not sure. I may also just go to a fueling station solution. Oops. Alright, do I have any? Yes, I do. I have a laser artillery turret. I have quite a few laser artillery turrets now. Well, we're gonna load up and go see what they do. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, ammo. There's the Boomba Ambo. Ambo. Let's switch into combat mode. Bob, happy to hear that this FFF, I don't think I have anything to be a grump about. I am happy to hear that, Bob. It was really, really frustrating to hear you so, not frustrating, hear you so frustrated. It was so, it didn't feel good for you to be frustrated. So I'm very happy that you have found nothing to be. Let's see what these do. You're just firing randomly. What are you doing to my power? Oh yeah, you take a little bit of power, but you know. Nice squeaky sound. Well, that'll keep them away from that edge a little bit. That's nice. Cool. Thank you. Let's put some of these where they can be some use. You have a minimum consumption, 50 megawatts. That's a lot of power being sucked up by these things. We're going to be very careful on where we put these. Sound is too annoying. Squeaky, squeaky. Boy, you don't like things like that, do you? Oh, let's see. For some reason, decided to work better than normal yesterday. Went from practicing on my basket to only practicing on putting a nice basket at a fairly local course the past 3-4 weeks. My basket had too light of chains compared to most actual courses from my putt to translate very well. That's interesting. That's good news. Quite interesting. Something I wouldn't think would make a difference. Well, I'll keep them off of this. I'll bet you it doesn't get many shots from this. We're gonna put one here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And my power now? Well... Laser artillery turret. Well, I would say it's important to practice with what's most closely mimicking the outside world as best as possible. Well, I think I'm going to be putting some landfill down here so I can do this, so I can get rid of those. Then again, this distance here is how far they can go. That is 8 power poles. So if I were to put one here, like where I just did that, then it would clear out all of this upper peninsula, and then I wouldn't need to put power there. Are you empty now? No mineable resources. This oil is all gone. Wow. Kind of a big deal. Perfect. That will gradually take care of that and keep that clear. Now I really should run power poles up to this defensive point. It's not that big of a deal. Especially if I do this little hack. Yeah, that's a lot of effort. But as I mentioned, consistency is the big thing with any sport like that. I want to get rid of all this biomass so that I can at least run along the coastline really quickly. I think I'm going to need to do that. And that little laser takes away all of my power. Or is it that these legs take away all of my power? Might be the legs take away my power, and I need to put another power thing in here. We refresh all these drones. Then again, if I put in another power cell, I have to take out legs. Oh, that's my old power armor. Alright, so I'll clear out down here and then go to St. Paul from Madison. These bots can't keep up with these legs, which is pretty funny. It's Wisconsin. If you think Wisconsin looks like Africa, well, you've probably been paying attention to the voter rolls. I've got new armor and new legs, and I can move fast now. Base progress, yes. I built this energy weapon or energy storage thing. I have migrated all of the research down here, so I now have all of this for research. I've got 5 of the 6 researches fully functional. The yellow is here. These A cards, which are new. Light blue, which is new. This is the blank. These are the pink cards, which I've got, but I don't have these things, so I can't. Some powered card thing, powered energy thing, which I don't know how to deal with yet. I want more energy weapon damage, though. But for 48,000, I really can't justify it. I could get a tank and equip it with a bunch of lasers. Oh, and I have artillery now. It looks like that. It's laser artillery. It shoots squeak, squeak. Yes, Laser Arty. Do you doubt me? Is that what the question mark was for? It's not permitted. It is in this game. So, sacrifice a shield for that laser. See what goes on. Well, that ate through my battery reserves rather quickly. Yeah, we're turning that off. So I can generate more power. More power. Almost got that cleared out. Nope, you don't get to exist here. My expansion plans now are pretty close to none. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I don't really need to expand. I may just run across the United States just to run across the United States. This is going to wreck this thing. Alright, you're no good for this. Alright, see the only thing that can fit here. Until I can bring some power here. Pike Place. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Thanks, Rolly. If I don't talk to you, I hope you have a good weekend. Yeah, they're a pretty good rock band. Edge is a better guitar player than Bono as a singer. Fight me. Oh, I should have put down some power poles while I was out there. I was up there and I didn't do that. So slow without legs. There we go. Now we're still on the same network. Alright, but we're going to upgrade all this because we are going to be putting this on my main network. So it's going to crush it for now. But I'll get it fixed in a minute. In a minute. And then I shouldn't need to come back up here ever again. Yep, I'm tired of doing this. I'm not going to do it anymore. burgers and fries. Hello, burgers and fries. Another Friday has arrived, and I hope it finds you well. Look at that. We have Artie up here now. Never have to worry about it again. Alright, so we can clean out some more stuff. Ignore these things as much as I can. Put myself back into combat mode. Gonna need to get another power unit for this. Try new discs even once I know I don't have the arm to throw well. Yeah, well, that's part of consumerism, right? Oh, I'm up to 75 now. That little laser's gotta go. Gotta go, you gotta go. I got a little bit north of St. Paul I gotta take care of. Yeah, Zinder, I'm probably not going to clean it up. There is technology that is a grenade, a throwable that wipes it out. And I'm thinking about getting it. I've been overpowered for combat for quite a while, Bob. I just don't really want to do it. It's time consuming and sucky. Three for one. I almost died to a rock. I'm to the point where I'm just going to kill the spawners and move on. Springfield, Madison. These are 2 level 4 shields, and yet I could still die to 1 worm. Alright, well, I guess I've cleared all that out. And the arty will keep them away from the wall, and I won't much care. And I'm not too impressed with that. Yeah, they are terrible at it. And by the way, Burger, the last time I ran a decon planner to pick up all the creep, I ran it across this section here in the middle, and I got kicked off my server because I got timed out. Server sitting 2 feet behind me. We still don't have enough of these? That's not destination full. Am I missing something here? Yeah, I am. I'm missing a constant combinator. Or a decision combinator. Alright, let's go there. You're outputting on I. You're listening on I. You're telling me that there are 13,000 in here? Oh. Okay, something went wrong then. You're requesting 2. Bob, how wide is Mississippi River here? It's plenty wide. As you can see here, nothing's crossing it. Cleared this out a little while ago, and yeah, there's stuff on that side, but nothing gets across any of that. They backfill from other places, but they aren't coming up from the south. And now that I've already, I could push them farther back if I ran power. Alright, so you aren't requesting things, but you are. You are crystals. So something's wrong here. Your loader... Why do you do that? I'm looking at the loader. I want to see, open the map in this location. And you go back to where the train is. That's not what I clicked on. You're requesting a train. You're sitting at the unloader waiting for 5 seconds of inactivity and empty cargo. But you're not empty cargo. So here's the question. How do I get around this? I don't want to have to put another train online. So I have my trains programmed that their unloaders are where they get fuel. So I have a condition that says empty cargo and 5 seconds of inactivity. And so what happens is they come here, they run out of stuff, and then they leave. If I have this as or 5 seconds of inactivity, it can, and has in my experience, get into a situation where the source is empty, and so it goes to the destination. It doesn't pick up fuel because it doesn't wait, right? Because it's already empty. It gets there and boom, immediately leaves. And so if I put this as an or, it immediately leaves. If I leave this as an and, then even though it's not empty, not even close to empty, it won't leave here. And so my only recourse is to put another train on the network. But the whole idea of dynamic trains in stations you only be able to leave if the source is full. Yeah, that's what I've done with all of these now. These are almost all the train stations, not all, but all of the provider stations you see here throughout the east coast of the U.S. Ignore what's in Canada and ignore what's in Michigan because they're different, because they're old. It just means fewer. That's a good point, Burgers. That's a good point. Because these are set to not request a train. The red light means that it wants a train. The red light triggers at 16,000. So if these fall below 16,000, it requests a train. It's not that it's at the drop-off. It's not that it's empty at the drop-off station. It's full at the drop-off station, or nearly full. So it's sitting here, and it's got 4,000 in each. So it's pretty close to full. But this station is requesting. Why are you requesting more? Is there something wrong here? 800. Oh, these must be capped. Oh, okay, I've got a programming problem. Alright, I gotta go fix that. I see what the problem there is. For these particular research things, I changed the values on some of these and I did not adjust them correctly. Alright, thanks for the info. Also, what the heck did I do here? I screwed this up. But still, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. Yeah, that's always going to trigger. Because this doesn't stack like everything else I've been working with. I forgot to make some adjustments when I built this. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep, that's what I want. Oh my god. All of these were supposed to be capped. Currently planning something. Not sure how well it will be most likely and efficient. I want to set up locations throughout the map that act as refueling stations only instead of refueling at certain unloading and loading stations. Currently, they would stop in their schedule unless I can figure out a way to dynamically add or remove from their schedule. Well, first off, there is a mod that will tell the train to not go to a station if it doesn't satisfy its requirements. But the person to talk to is here in chat, Burgers and Fries, because he did SpaceX with trains amazingly well. And I'm actually considering doing a refueling station. But for now, what I have is a rule that says all unloaders supply fuel so that I don't have to send fuel out to my outposts, to my mining stations. But I'm considering exactly what you just said, which is a couple of clusters where I have a refueling station in, several points around the map so that I don't get everybody coming to one place. And then just adding it as a third stop on every train is load, unload, refuel. And then they'll go to the refuel station and they'll sit there until they have inactivity of 1 second. Yeah. So I'm probably going to keep what I have, which is that I have a train stop at each place where they might unload that transfers fuel, and I have bots that give them fuel. Alright, let's send this out of here because now I need to go review all of these because reasons. Those are all capped, and this should be 1,000. Why are you telling me that you have nothing to load? Because you don't have any gears. Because I only have one gear train, and this one is doing that same thing. There are 3,700 gears. And 3,200 gears. What are you set to request at? 4,000. And I'd be willing to bet that I stupidly set these chests too small. 468, 468. What's your size? 200, 400. So 200, 400, 600, 800. Wait. 400, 800, 1200, 1600. So 1600, 3200. So yeah, that's never gonna work. Damn it. A little bit of mental fatigue and the whole thing goes out the window. That stacks to 50. So this is terrible. So I just screwed this up. So I want that at 1,000. 50, 100, 200, 400. This is always going to be asking for more. So I need to get 200 in each of these, which means that it needs to be 4. This stacks to 1,000, so 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So I want this to be 4,000. So it'll request when it's half empty. This should be capped a little bit more than that. Yep. There's Lycom's house. Now we'll go over here and check these. That one's correct. This is also the question, why isn't there any fuel here? There's no bots here. There's extra bots here, so let's see if I can find some and take them. Perfect. Okay, so another correction. So it stacks to 200, it should be 1,000. But this keeps happening too. I don't understand this. Only on this train, these are getting double summoned. 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. So if this thing drops below 1,000, it requests a train. This one drops below 1,000, it requests a train. Great, it'll request 2 trains if it needs it. It's even got a stacker for it. But it seems to constantly request that second train. I don't know the conditions that cause that. Eh. What I did was add all the contents on both sides, determine request the train, and only request no correct. Rolly, I did the exact opposite of that. I want to keep them separate, and I have to keep them separate. Well, I don't have to. It's the design pattern that I use. Mostly when I do an unloader, I don't balance like this. So I don't usually have a balancer like that. And so I need to make sure that there's no red wire that crosses across. And you can see here that there is no red wire coming across. So you can see that the red wire does not cross the tracks. And I can't, for my standard unloader, I can't have it do that, because if you look at a normal setup that I would have, which I don't have any more of, but what I'll probably end up having to do is this setup here, where I use an OR gate, basically, if either one of these is true. The thing of it is that it's not supposed to cause this behavior. The only way it could cause this behavior is if both sides of this fall to zero, or to fall, call a train at the exact same time. Which is really hard to imagine it's going to happen consistently. So I'm going to check. Shut up, thing. Going to check the rest of these to make sure that I have the setup I want. They're all supposed to be a factor of 200 and 1000. So if the item stacks to 2k, I want the condition to be 1000. If the item stacks to 50, or it stacks to 200, if it stacks to 50, I need to have it allow for 4 stacks. These stack to 100, I happen to know. And then I just have to get more rocket fuel going. I think I already checked all these. These stack to 1000, so it's going to request the train at half full, which I think is fine. Well, it was doing it even before I put the extra balancer on there, really. Well, I understand at least one of the train stations having problems. If one side has enough, we'll ask for a train, but if the other side also has enough, we'll request a second train. If a train takes too long to get here, it'll ask 2 trains eventually. Yes. The problem is that it seems to be asking for 2 trains simultaneously. It's not really a big deal other than I eventually end up with a train here stuck here that I don't want. Yes, it's behaving exactly as it should. But I want to understand better. I mean, it's hard to believe that it's unloading so perfectly. I have a stacker. It's right there. And it stacks perfectly. Nah, it's going to be too long for me to wait. Alright, well, what I'll do is I'll just add the R. That will solve it. Yeah, see, it just did it here. These both fell below 2,000 or 1,000 really quickly at the same time. And so it requested 2 trains. Well, I solved it. I resolved it, addressed it by changing the combinators to OR condition, adding this third combinator, setting them to an intermediate variable, and so that I only will ever request 1 train. The problem is that the station setup I have requests 2 trains because it runs low on resources, but my train scheduling setup is such that the train doesn't leave unless it's empty. And so the chests are configured so that they only hold a little bit, 1 stack or 200 per chest. So the train is sitting there with 4,000 resources on it. It can only unload about 200 at a time, which is a problem for me a little bit. But then because I have the train set up to pull, because I didn't configure it for an external balancer, which I've since added, the second train would sit in the stacker completely full. The first train would sit in the unloading station 98% full. And the only way to resolve that would be to put another train on the network. And what I should have done is that when I put that splitter on there to balance the output, I should have changed the station to only allow 1 train to come in at a time. which I have since done. Yeah, essentially it did. It made it always call 2 trains. But I have another lurking problem. And the other lurking problem is that I don't... Because I don't unload much... Pike plays, that's pretty close to what I have. I'm mostly happy with how most of my trains work. And that's how most of them are. Let me see if I can find you a more recent example. A simple recent example that isn't overly complex. What am I making here? AI core. So in this AI core, I have blue circuits being unloaded. And blue circuits has a stacker. And the belts are not merged. They're not balanced after the station. Which is my standard thing, is I don't balance them after. What I do is I track their levels of the chest individually so that this red wire does not connect to this red wire. And so this combinator is measuring this side, and this combinator is measuring that side. And the theory goes, if you were using them unevenly, which in most cases I would, then one side is going to empty out before the other side, which is what you can see here, is that this one has got 18,000 in it, and this one has got 17,000 in it. So in theory, one would trigger and say, I need stuff. At 16,000, it's going to trigger and say, I need stuff. And just as you said, if it wears down really quickly, if it consumes it really quickly, then the other one's going to trigger at the same time, which is ideal. That's what I want. Because if it's consuming a lot of resources quickly, then I need that second train sooner rather than later, so I don't have a dead space of when I don't have anything here in this unloader at this station. So it's a perfect solution for me. I'm very happy with it. Except in this one particular case, for this station, I made a couple of changes that break my assumptions and have caused me this problem. One, I capped these output chests at one stack instead of letting them have a huge buffer. And two, I have extra of the trains that supply them because I have quite a few needs for iron plate and copper cable. So I have lots of these trains sitting around, and they'll respond. And then two, I merged them on the output. If I merge them on the output, I'm supposed to switch to this model with the third combinator that does an OR clause on these two combinators. I could just as easily put the red wire across, but I want to be very careful and I want to be very visual on what I do when I make changes like that. Normally the red wire does not cross, and I don't want to have a, oh, well, this time it does, because data wires are a pain in the ass to take out. You can always put a new one in with a base, but you can't take one out. So I use the what I call the R OR request. If either one of these goes high, puts out a 1. This one looks for it and then only puts out a 1. so that if both of them put out a 1, it still puts out only 1. So this station will now only request 1 train and doesn't even need an output stack or an input stacker. But in the sake of consistency, I like all of my stuff to be as consistent as possible. Yes. Rolly, if you're willing to set aside the space in a factory for balancing after unloading, then yes. That plan works. Well, no, that's a good thing. That's a good way to do it. You got to learn it. Before you can decide what you like and what you don't like, you've got to try things. And that's why you should be open to anal. I didn't say that out loud. Zinder, there is an intersection on that one, and that's part of where I screwed that up. If you take a look here, this is a double-sided unloader where I balance it output, and I have the OR clause. This one I did correctly. So it still counts them independently. This one still counts the left side, and this one still counts the right side. And to be honest, I could have made my life a lot easier by just connecting the red wire here and then doubling this value. But then, it would not have been visually obvious to me what I had done. Because you can't hover over a decider combinator and see its values. See, all it tells me is what it's getting. In this case, when I look at this, I see that third combinator and I see it set to R. I know I'm expecting it to be balanced downstream. And when I look at one where I have 2 and I don't see the R, I don't expect it to be balanced downstream. And more importantly, I need a stacker, because this could call 2 trains. This can only ever call 1 train, and therefore doesn't need a stacker. Now in the future, when I have trains that can go over other trains, I might always have a stacker for everything, because I can just put it there and it not take up any more real estate. But that's the future. Who knows what the future holds? The shadow knows. But I sure as heck don't. Good to have you all here. I miss having people to talk to. And yes, I'm just messing with concrete now. Yeah, Doc. I have your stream open. You were working. Thank you, sir. How are you?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Avo? I'm just going to call you Avo. Yes. Well, thank you for the visit. I will try to be entertaining. I don't need these here at all anymore. I don't think I need... I think I was requesting them and I can turn that off. Nope. Okay. I can do matter plants now and matter. Oh, I need to build stabilizer charging systems. I need that. Oh, jeez. Because I have a build that needs a stabilizer charging system. Charges stabilization cells. Crap. So here's my little list of all the research I have left to do. The green symbols indicate things that are already on the rail network, and the white symbols indicate things that I still need to put on the rail network. I just got these on the rail network. So by on the rail network, I mean somewhere here with its own little factory. This is the thing I just added. It is dog slow. These are energy control units. I don't know. Random words. They're not making anything because I have run out of electronic components. Run out of electronic components because I was down here screwing around with electronic components and I turned something off that I probably shouldn't have. And so now I don't have enough of something to keep making them at the speed I expected to. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna need some red inserters to finish that build. Yeah. I got distracted. There's a faceless. Boy, these new legs are fast. I should have checked to make sure I didn't have any ghosts here before I'd walked away last time. I'm near Indianapolis, so you can just go here. You can take the rest of this and that, and then just go home. Why are you up? We're still having this gear problem. So this is the thing I don't know how to solve. I guess I just need to put another gear train online. Because this is going to sit here until it's empty. And if this is consuming them fast enough, it's just going to keep coming back and sitting here. Do I have a gear train already? Yes, I do. So let's put another train. Let's put another prawn on the Barbie. The problem is that it sits there waiting to unload. And if the factory stops consuming, if that little component outpost or that component plant stops building, stops consuming, then iron gear, unloader, empty cargo, inactive, and like what's going on here is at this yellow belt, this one gear transfer train just sits here because it's not empty and there have been 5 seconds of inactivity. The 5 seconds of inactivity are to ensure that it gets fuel. I wish there were a setting here where you could say fuel full, right? Because it's not item count. So the result is that this train sits here pretty much forever. And then the other stations that are expecting gears don't have a train to service them. And so even though I'm using dynamic train stations, stations that need gears, see, like this one's going to do the same thing now. And this is kind of disappointing. But like Burger said, doesn't mean you don't need more than one, just need fewer. Because even though this is going to empty out, only some of them I stifled their unloading. Most of them I don't stifle their unloading. And I assume by stifle their unloading, I assume you mean limit the chests. You know, Zinder, that's a great idea. That's probably what I was trying to do, and I screwed it up. Yeah, because we can see right here that this is not going to summon another train, even though it's not full. And on these, I capped these because I didn't really want them to be holding a ton of stuff there. And so now that gets broken. Okay, I'll go fix that. Where in the heck am I? I'm in Indianapolis. I want to go to Columbus. Screw you, Rob. Screw you. So you aren't capped. Well, your pipes. What? Ugh. Yep, okay. Excellent. Thank you all for helping me figure that out. I understand a bit more now. Because now, as Zinder was saying, when a train gets here... Oh, sorry, Pike. The problem was that I looked at this and I the problem was that I had restricted the storage in these chests to just a couple things. But the train, these things are going to request the train when they're low, but this thing can't unload. And so because it couldn't fully unload, it would just sit there. But what Zinder was pointing out was that, and what Burgers was trying to explain to me, is that you shouldn't call a train unless you can empty the train. And so that's where I had screwed this up. And that will solve this problem, because as soon as this train... See, well, here we see the dual train problem, but I'm not worried about this one. It's a one-time thing. It's at the loading phase. This, I could actually put balancers on here, but anyhow, cool. I think I did the same thing over here on Red Belt. Which is, I think, what... oh, no, you're not Red Belt. You are this complete waste of my time. An intermediate that was added that I don't think should be there. Where is that red belt that I put? Yeah, there it is. Yep, I'm gonna have to go over there and fix that there too. Stupid rocks. I just didn't want all of that crap just sitting around. What I should probably do is figure out what how much can a train hold? If it stacks to... How much do you have on you? 16,000. Okay. So that's where the 16,000 came from. I was thinking about it backwards. So now it's not going to call a train unless it can unload the train, which is what I should have done. I did the same thing up there. These should be mostly dead. Let's get my scrap train. Not throw all those up there. Crap, these are all full. Doggone it. Oops.
SMS received.
Hi, Boom. How are you? Thanks for being here. Damn it. There went a rocket. Oh, that's more stuff than I wanted to store here, but this is, of course, hurting for... Oh, that's new. Hurting for rare metals. Surprising. Now, what the heck was I doing? Missing something. I don't see a reason why you would be slow. What is going on here? Why is this one full and this one's not? Although these aren't necessarily full at 7 and 10. There they go, being stupid. Such good stupid bots. Oh. They decided to try and move in. That laser already is pretty darn good. So has this problem resolved itself? You are unloading here. You're still hungry, though. This chews through it pretty quickly. So you've got what you need, although I need more rare metals going online. Yep, alright. Next supply choke point is rare metals, so let's get some rare metals going. This smelting is probably not enough. So the two of you take one belt, and you put out half a belt. I have better designs than that now, which I will redo this with a